I'm tying another wet fly from Ray Bergman's book, Trout. This is the Bunting. One thing that fascinates me about a lot of these wet flies, these were very, very popular flies back at the latter part of the 19th century and the early part of the 20th century. This is long before dry flies became a big thing. I mean, dry flies have been around, but because of the equipment and everything, there was a time where it was just very, very difficult to do a lot of dry fly fishing. So streamers were the thing, and wet flies were great little nymph/streamer imitations, bait fish imitations, and there's just an unbelievable amount of different patterns that people have come up with. The bunting is very, very simple. It is a high contrast fly, a black floss body and a black throat with a white wing, a little bit of flash with that gold tip in it, and just very, very simple wet fly, but a lot of fun to tie. So that's the bunting, and I'll get started tying. I'm going to start the bunting with my hook in the vise. This is a Mustad 3399 in a size 6. It's just a standard wet fly hook. After I debarb the hook, I'll attach my thread. For thread, I'm just using a Danville 70 denier in black. The bunting has a gold tip of tinsel on it, as well as a black floss body. I don't have to worry about darkening up the floss in the body on this. I can use black thread throughout. Normally, I would use, if it was a lighter colored floss body, I would use a white thread to start out with, so I did not darken that up. I'll attach my thread about an eye length behind the hook, bringing it down to the end of the shank, just a little past the point. Here I'm going to tie in the tip. I'm using a Danville silver and gold Mylar tinsel in a size 16 and 18. It is a gold tip, so I will tie this in with the silver side up. Different ways that you could tie these in and apply these. I could attach this right here with a few wraps and then flip over the gold side and wrap about 5 or 6 wraps down and back up if I wanted to. Sometimes that gives you a little bit nicer tip on here, because with the black thread, if you have any gaps in that tinsel, the black thread's going to show through. But I'm just going to wrap down about half dozen, 7 wraps down the hook bend and then back up, and then I'm going to wrap in that tinsel. You just want to make certain that you're getting each of those wraps right in front of the other one, possibly overlapping a little bit. That's quite all right. You just want to cover all of those thread wraps with that gold tinsel. Make certain that you have a piece of tinsel that is long enough that you can comfortably hold it while you're wrapping all this in and transferring it from one hand to another, because if it's too short, I guarantee you'll lose grip of it and it'll all come unraveled. Might have just a little bit showing right there. I'll trim away the excess. There's no rib on this other than the tip. It's the black floss body, black hackle for a throat, and a white wing. So I'm using this is a Danville 4-strand Rayon floss in black. I'm going to tie this in over on my side, pulling it to the left to bring it down the length of the body. Apply a little bit more wax to my thread. Make certain I got a good grip on this. And I'm going to advance my thread forward, touching turns. This just keeps it a nice smooth underbody. It's a little bit long, one strand there, so I'll trim that. I don't want it to go into the head space. I just want it to be right at the end of the body. With my thread right there, this is going to be the transition between the end of the body and the head right here. I'll leave my thread hanging and I will apply the black floss. I want to make certain you get all of those fibers under the same tension. That's why I'm stroking these, pinching down on this. That way when you start to wrap this in, it doesn't spread out on you. Gives you a nice smooth body. Screwing that in right at the end of the body. I can trim away the excess, and I'm ready to tie in the throat. Throat, like I mentioned, is just some black hackle. I'm using some black schlappen for this. Gone ahead and taken the schlappen feather and taken probably about 1/4 of an inch wide. I don't know, maybe that's 25, maybe 30 barbs, something like that. So I take it from one side and then take it from the other side and match it together. You basically end up with a couple of slips of some schlappen barbs here. I'm going to place this underneath. I want the tips to be about to the barb, the point of the barb. Pull that underneath, a few wraps to secure it, and our throat is tied in. Smooth off this area here. We're ready to tie in our wing. The wing, as I mentioned, is just a white wing. I'm using some goose quill for this. I've got a couple of slips already cut out here. I'll pull one out one side. I'll take the other feather. I'll lay it on top, matching up the tips, and pull that out. I want to make certain the tips are matched up on these. Now the one on my side of those two slips is wider than the other. So I turn that over, take my bodkin, poke that in there, and just peel out the excess there. I got one other one there. Where did I catch that one? That one I think belongs to... Well, we'll take that out. Grabbed an extra one on my side, or I should say on your side. You want the wing to be about the gap of the hook. I actually like it about 3/4 the gap of the hook. Not quite. They're kind of a little disproportionate to me if I do it the full gap of the hook. Tie that in. We'll pinch and loop. Curing that in. A few extra wraps. Take a look at our wing. That's laying in pretty good. It's a little too far on that side. So I brace the wing and unwrap it. Get it on top here, and I come in for a second attempt. You want the wings come down no more than halfway down the shank of the hook on both sides, because otherwise it covers up the body. That's pretty good. Couple more wraps to secure that. I can reach in here with my nice sharp pointed scissors and trim away the rest of that wing. And then I will create the head while covering up these butt ends. One little tuft right there. We'll get that covered up with the thread. Oh. Got to be careful there. I think I just popped my wing off to my side. My thread had popped up just a little bit. Yeah, it did. If I can't get that scooched back up. There we go. Come down to the eye of the hook and start working backwards. This will keep you from tying and wrapping on that material and dropping off a little ledge where you've got your cut materials. This will get the thread kind of climbing up on it. This allows you to Get the shape of the head that you want. Flatten my thread. Put my whip finish in. Cut away my thread. Put some head cement on this. This is some fly tight head cement, which is a thinner head cement that will soak down into those thread wraps to protect them. And then I'll put a couple coats of a clear lacquer on there, as well as one of black to give it a nice glossy finished head to it. So there is the bunting. Simple little wet fly. Like I said, these wet flies in Ray Bergman's book I find fascinating. Just the volume of how many different flies there are, and some of the differences and some of the similarities in them. They're just a lot of fun to tie. So that's a bunting. Thanks for watching today.
Thank you for joining me at the Vise today. I hope you learned a new pattern, at least a tip or trick here and there. If you'd like to help Dress Irons, you can like, comment, share, subscribe, all those wonderful things for the video. You can also head out to dressedirons.com where you can buy flies, tools, stickers, and merch, or you can join a growing community over on Locals at the Dressed Irons Fly Tying Guild. You can also donate to Dressed Irons if you want through the link at the bottom of the description. I thank everybody for their ongoing support, as it really does help the creation of these videos. But what's important is to remember, only fly tying. If you're not having fun, you're doing it wrong.